Hello, before we get into today's video, stay to the end because I will reveal a little bit about the Entrepreneurship Grid. But let's get into it. Hello, innovators, and welcome back to my weekly review video where I connect. No, what am I doing? I look back to. Let's start all over again. Hello, innovators, and welcome back to my weekly review video where I look back what happened last week on my mission to empower 1 million people to innovate. That sounds better, right? Let's start with podcasts. The Innovation Breakfast Club is a series of different breakfast club meetings where I meet with previous guests on my podcast to engage and dive deeper into specific topic. This time I was meeting with Deborah, Mercedes, and Ulrike, and we looked into curiosity, how curiosity is working in organizations, how it works from a personal level, and all of that topics. Link in the video somewhere up here. Enjoy the conversation, it's a really cool one. Podcast number 2 last week was with Anthony Vade, where we looked into how you change a culture through event design, and he's a master of that. So it was a cool conversation, really enjoyed it. The video is of course somewhere here as well. Then as every week, almost every week, at least the last couple of weeks, getting into the online course world together with Stephen Brooks. So Stephen Brooks and I meet every week around how I help him to establish an online course for his business, and he is the pop-up retail expert of the world. So it's a pleasure to work with him. We have a ton of fun. You will see in the videos up there how much fun we have. If you look into the long form videos, they're even more funny. It takes a while to get into them. It is really interesting, and I guess you learn a ton as well. So last week we looked into the high-level program and the sections of his online course. Check it out. Another exciting thing, which I haven't talked too much about yet, is the AI Fortuna Streams. And AI Fortuna Streams is a little event organization I have together with Dennis and Stuart, where we look into a mindset shift for executives. So this meeting was with different executives from completely different industry, and we took a trigger question into a discussion. The trigger question this time was, has behavior changed enough to? And then we started a discussion. Maybe we will publish 1 or 2 clips in the future, but not yet, because we already did, I think, 4 events like that. And it's executives who need to be willing that things are getting shared. So exciting things. Let's get to the next point. The XYZ Playground is a platform where we want to engage young thinkers and experienced thinkers in a reverse mentorship perspective. And we're right now in a beta test. And that's a business I've set up with a couple of young entrepreneurs. So inside the beta test, we are having a weekly meeting with young thinkers where we bring them into a workshop setting and discuss different topics. This time we took apart the sustainability ESG goals and debated different topics. I think it was 7 thinkers from different parts of the world joining the workshop, and we dove deep into that. It was a pleasure to see the young thinkers and how they engage with each other, though have never met themselves in a physical environment. Then, of course, a ton of meetings, a ton of amazing people I've met last week on one-on-one coachings, on workshops with different companies, on business workshops, on business meetings, and of course, engagement meetings where it was just, hey, let's have a chat on a casual Zoom coffee or Zoom beer even, to get to know each other, to talk about different possibilities, being on each other's podcast, and so on and so on. Another cool event was the Entrepreneurship Forum I moderated together with Joshua. We took executives from the real estate and retail world into an entrepreneurship perspective, where we talked about culture shift and leadership in organizations, and specifically inside the real estate world. And we looked into what is their perspective of that. And we shared a little sneak peek of the outcome on LinkedIn. So if you haven't seen it, check out my feed. There's an entrepreneurship summary picture where we share a bit what we learned in that forum. As I promised you, let's get into the Applied Entrepreneurship Grid. So the Applied Entrepreneurship Grid is something I have together invented with Joshua, and we're both together writing a book about that and bringing that into the book. But as innovators, as we are, we're prototyping different ways of it already today, because we want to write a book that's really applicable. And because it's called Applied Entrepreneurship, we of course want to make it applicable in a way that you can use it straight away. And that's why we're testing things. So what is it? It's a grid that helps you to understand a snapshot of your organization, where we take the culture shift on a horizontal level and the leadership on a vertical level. And then we basically format a grid where we trigger with different questions, trigger with different perspectives and understanding, and then summarize that in one grid and build out catalysts in the middle. Sounds very complex? It is. That's why I will do a separate video on that coming up in a couple of weeks from now. So stay tuned for that. I will share it in social when it's ready. So stay tuned for that. That's it for today. Thank you for staying until the end. It means a lot for me if you would like, or if you would hit the subscribe button. I really would like to get towards the 1 million, and I need every single like, every single subscription to get there. In case you like that video, you like other things I'm doing, go to the website 1millioninnovators.com. That's my personal website of this movement. Have a look at what's going on. And in case you like it even more, give me a testimonial and say, hey, you got inspired to innovate, and I will feature you on the website. Thank you very much for that, and see you next week again.